Okay, folks, back at it. World domination has been on the top of the to-do list for many nations since before Manifest Destiny, Nazi Germany, the USSR, and hell, even the Mongolian Empire. It has been a notable desire of Alexander the Great, who would opine his intentions for world domination. However, legend persists that after he completed his military conquest of the known ancient world, he wept. He wept because he had no other worlds to conquer, you know, because he was unaware of China further to the east, and he really had no way to know anything about the civilizations in America. Ah, during that time, it was thought to it was thought that conquering the globe was an impossibility. However, an Antipodean uh, position would be taken up in 1948, I believe, by a one Hans Morgenthau, an international relations scholar. Furthermore, this man would stress that the mechanical development of weapons, transportation, and communications uh, makes the conquest of the world technically possible, and they will make they will make it technically possible to keep the world in that conquered state. When taking Morgenthau's okay, folks, Morgenthau's words appeared to be foretelling and proposed to world domination. Technology, excuse me, technology has made the conquest of the global conquest verisimilitude. The latter is tantamount to Machiavelli's quote in The Prince, I believe. Um, he who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Furthermore, when COVID began its global throes, many fellow conservatives would opine that you'll see, Americans will soon be required to show vaccination passports and vaccination proof. However, to the globalists, America, much like the world, is now in the prime position to be dominated because the world appears to have forgotten Nazi Germany and the yellow star of David badges Jews had to wear. And people people who were once friends to Jews completely capitulated with the confirmation of Hitler's Aryan society. And yep, that is precisely what is happening under these mass mandates. Folks can no longer attend family outings or events, go to supermarkets, or enjoy any other aspect of life without wearing a mask, with Dr. Fauci being our contemporary Joseph Goebbels, which was Hitler's minister of propaganda. 'Cause at this point, I'm not even sure if he's a doctor. I know what he's saying is a lot of bullshit. But since Morgenthau's 1948 opposition of ancient world domination, the world's the world's uh, technical elevation has taken the globe to new and greater heights in all forms of technological development. No, e.g., propaganda, fear, medicine, weaponry, etc. Additionally, the former two elements have led to societal conformity hitherto and since society's achievement milestones in technology. It is not in contra to reason that a plan for global control has been orchestrated by global stakeholders and has now been initiated. And the vehicle that has helped elites create this global caste system is COVID. Political scientists would juxtapose the latter with the rally around the flag syndrome, uh, a, a dramatic event in society will cause en masse conformity and a loss of civil liberties. No, case in point. Case in point. It has now become tolerable for a column in the, I believe, LA Times to express COVID deaths of the unvaccinated to be obligatory, necessary, much like 9/11 allowed government overreach. Additionally, this is why Americans have been conditioned to believe we are in a democracy, why our Constitution can be spit upon by politicians like Eric Adams, who just signed a bill, goddammit. He just signed a bill allowing non-citizens to vote in New York City, so long as they are in the city for 30 days. In 2021, Dr. McCullough, he spoke about things we are witnessing right now, a global pandemic caused by what appears to be an engineered coronavirus, international lockdowns, border closings, hell, widespread business closures, economic collapse, and massive unemployment. Also, an unprecedented curtailment of civil liberties and freedoms in the name of keeping people safe. Right now, we are in the throes of it all. We're in the throes of it all right now. Remember the Wuhan lab leak? They stopped talking about that, notwithstanding Chinese scientists at risk of CCP comeuppance spoke out about it. Once the elites realized this is a sure way to globally social engineer conformity. Boy, boy, boy. However, there are still pockets of resistance in the world. France and Australia, I think it might be too late for Australia. I mean, I mean, hell, I'm sure Australia laments falling for their government gun buyback program because their trust in the government led them in the raptures of the increasingly dictatorship state they are living in right now. Right now, they're living in it right now. And the freedoms that they lost, they ain't getting them back. And let me tell you something. America is not that far off the beaten trail. Like the rest of the world, our government our government has a president in office that is taking advice from a doctor that has used Brooklyn orphans in a failed HIV cure experiment that resulted in I believe at least I believe it was 25 deaths of children, and another doctor who is director general of a health organization who once was a member of the Tigray People's Liberation Front, uh, a Marxist group that overthrew a despotic Ethiopian government, ending the Ethiopian red, I believe it's Red Scare or Red Terror, one or the other. You can find it. But then they became they became tyrannical themselves. These are the same schmucks the world is taking medical orders from. Therefore, should we be surprised of these international lockdowns Dr. McCullough foresaw? Isn't Savannah Hernandez right? Shouldn't conservatives feel betrayed by backing the blue when they are the same blue that are now enforcing these tyrannical mandates on said people who supported them? I mean, people. People with malintent are using COVID to bring about the Great Reset and are making it palatable to use law enforcement to displace the unvaccinated children and adults, sick and well, out in the cold. See, when are citizens en masse going to realize that the government's greatest trick was convincing the masses that freedom is conformity, much like the devil's greatest trick was proving to the world he didn't exist. And that's all I have to say about that. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell while you're at it. Well, that's it. That's all, folks.